couple of days away now, so the excitement level is high, even though it doesn't look like it on my face right now. I'm pretty fired up to get going, but I think the focus level of our team has been really good. And I think that's what I'm excited about is each day that we've come in and the closer and closer that we get, the more focused we are. And that's what I've talked to them a lot about is really zero in on, working on ourselves to be the best we can be and then focusing in on this first game, this first opponent. And they, get our complete focus. We had a few days last week where we were just able to only worry about ourselves and try and use those 3 days to get better in what we needed to clean up. And then we started, preparing for Youngstown State on Sunday to, do as much as we can with those guys. So we're excited. We are ready to go. We still got a couple of days left, but we're ready to go, and we'll see what we look like. It's early in the year, so it's not always going to be pretty. They'll challenge us in a lot of ways, but stay together, stay focused, and let's see what happens from here. So I'll open it up if anybody has any questions.
What's your process for scouts? Did you scout a few games in advance beyond Youngstown State, or just Youngstown State to start the season?
No, just Youngstown State. We split it up with our assistant coaches. So one of those guys might be working ahead on what's next, but I can't do it. I can't multitask in that way. I'm so locked in on our team, what we need to do to be good on Wednesday, and really locked in on Youngstown and how they're gonna test us and how they're gonna try and beat us. So there are some guys that's the one thing about having a great staff is that whenever this game is over, they'll be ready for what's next, and they'll help me get up to speed pretty quickly in terms of what I need to know on our next opponent. So I'm completely locked in. Our guys are completely locked in. Just the first opponent who we're going to play, and that's all we're worried about.
Micah, have you settled in on a starting five, and if so, who are they?
You know what? I think it's gonna. Still got 2 days of practice, and I don't want to jinx anything. I just hope we can get 5 there, right? We still tinker with it. We still play with it. We'll figure it out. Hopefully it comes to me when I, sleep at night and I wake up and it's like, you should start those 5 guys. So I haven't completely settled on it. I keep saying they're going to tell me who's going to start. And then it'll go to what's our best matchups, what's our best lineups, and who best helps us win. So the biggest concern for me, we got to stay healthy, right? So we got to stay healthy. We got to get healthy. Everything we need early in the year, we have to do, especially at the start of college basketball seasons. You want to be at your best, but you want to peak as the season goes on. So, that's key for me. So I don't know yet. I know John's going to start. You can put him in. That's happening right now. That was happening way back in April or whatever. John's starting.
Going off of that a little bit, when you have so many guys that haven't played together, how do you balance? I realize practice and performance is going to dictate a lot of who starts and things like that, but, picking a 5 and trying to get some cohesion with them versus, ostensibly you have a month or two to kind of try a couple different things out here.
Yeah, and we started kind of narrowing down as the weeks have gotten closer, the guys that are going to play for you. And I give them long stretches at a time with different groups, because as the game goes on, right, it's really important to have your 5 guys that start the game play together, but they're going to be mixed together throughout the whole game, so they all need to know how to play together. I think that's huge for us, is we can't have lulls in terms of one group plays better than the other group. We all need to be executing at the right way, at the right level, and I hold them to a high standard. right? Whoever's in, you need to play the right way. And if we're up 25, we're down 25, and you put, 5 walk-ons in, and they're not playing the right way, like, they're going to hear about it too. So our standard in terms of how we play and what we do on the court shouldn't change no matter who's out there, at any point in time during the game.
Micah, you hinted a little bit before about getting healthy. Are there guys you're expecting to be without on Wednesday?
Yeah, we're still without Giovanni. That's, something that, we're still working through the process with him. And then Greg Lee also is somebody that is going to be out here at the start of the season. We don't know how long, but he's dealing with an injury right now. So being able to, he's a guy that we were going to really count on as well. But we also move on to what's next. Who is going to be available is the most important thing. So, I know Greg's bummed that he won't get a chance to play with us here at the start, but the other guys have really stepped up in that way, and we've kind of taken on that mantra, win anyway, right? Doesn't matter who's out there. Doesn't matter what our circumstances are. You can still win the game, and that's what our focus is on. So, whether it's next man up mentality or whatever it may be, we're still going to compete. We're still going to go out, play the same exact way. And nobody's going to feel sorry for us, right? I don't feel sorry for us. I know Jared Calhoun at Youngstown State's not going to feel sorry for us. I know the rest of the Big Ten's not going to feel sorry for us. So we don't feel sorry for ourselves. We roll on and, we find a way to win anyway.
Hi, Coach. So prior to the start of the season, the team has been very active in the community, whether that's handing out tickets, playing basketball in East. How important is setting those roots in the community to the team?
Yeah, I think it's really big. I think I said it when we were at East Hall Courts. Like, we want people to come and watch us play here, but we should go see them, right? Like, I should go see them at their events. Like, go and support them in the same way I'm asking them to support me, right? So whether that's going to other sporting events, whether that's seeing somebody outside of the waffle shop and they are raising money for Thon, like, I should be helping them as well, right? That's just a part of it. That's just a part of trying to, not necessarily doing it for selfish reasons. That's what you should do. And I think, that's the fun part too, right? You build in that way. Like, I don't want students here at Penn State to come cheer for the Penn State basketball team. I want to come cheer for their friends, right? Because they're out supporting them. They're out to doing these same things, just like I am. So I tell these guys to get out and let's do it. Let's rally up as many people as possible. But because we want, we want the full experience. I want them to have the full experience out there, but I want the full experience here. I went to a Penn State club's men's basketball game on, what day was that? Saturday afternoon, right? I didn't tell them I was coming. I didn't promote it, but they sent me their schedule. So I'm gonna try and make it, right? And they'll come back. They said it. We're gonna come and see you on Wednesday, but that's how it should be. I think it goes both ways. I can't just ask them and then don't show up when they have events or when they have things going on.
When it comes to role definition, how do you figure out? I mean, I realize that you've seen them in practice, but there's a big difference between practice and playing in a game. How do you figure out what these guys are good at? How do you define what their roles are going to be, especially when you have a lot of guys that are here, ostensibly looking for playing time, looking for that opportunity?
Yeah, that's a big part of, we try and, like I said earlier, we play to the same standard every single time. So when we're on offense, we're looking for a great shot for the best shot for Penn State. And no matter if I take it, no matter if you take it, no matter if John, Seth, whoever it may be, if it's the best shot for our team, that's what we want. And I don't want them looking over their shoulders and worrying about what that is, right? Should I have taken that shot? Should I have not taken that shot? We watch a lot of film. We talk a lot during practice. We break down situations. And then, by the time the game comes, we try and make it easy for them in that way. So, if a guy's out there, shooting the ball 70 times a game and there's 70 great shots, and I'm okay with that, right? But if he's taking 69 bad shots and one good one, then we're going to have a definition of, like, what a great shot is for our team. So I think they know. I hope they know because we play on Wednesday.
Do you think, though, there's value in to steal an NBA transition a little bit? When Doc Rivers went to the Sixers, one of the things that a lot of those guys, sorry, by the way.
That's all right.
Yeah.
They got a good
You're
team.
outnumbered in
Yeah.
this room on that front.
It's all good.
One of the things that a lot of the players said was that they knew exactly what kind of shots they were looking for in terms of, Tobias Harris knew what he was looking for. Joel obviously knows what he's looking for. Do you think there's value in saying, Seth, these are the kind of shots that we want you to be good at? John, these are the sorts of things. Or is it, in college, if you're open and you can make it, then let's just do that.
Yeah, I think like you talked about, like they all know what a good shot is for them, and it's different for everybody. Like, a pull-up jump shot at the elbow might be a great shot for you, might not be a great shot for me. Like, we had those same talks at the Celtics. Like, people don't want to shoot mid-range shots, but Kyrie Irving was great at that, so we shouldn't limit that for him. So, I'm not a stickler in terms of where our shots should come from, but we're trying to get, like I said, the best shot for our team. And they know, like, where they kind of find their unique spots. But our team knows as well. But we also know, like, we have to read the game as well. So know who has a mismatch, right? When it's an opportunity and I have a mismatch, it always doesn't have to be for me, or I call your name in the play. It doesn't always have to be for you just because you're involved in it. Get the best shot for our team. And if you can get your shot, take it. But if you get to your shot and they have to overplay you, move it to the next guy and allow him to get his best shot. So we work on it. We spend a lot of time kind of defining it, looking at it, adjusting it, and maneuvering it, as we go.
So you've obviously, been dealt, a hard hand, at least recently with injuries and the NCAA things with Giovanni. Have you seen any other big men step up in practice?
I don't think they have a choice. That's the fun part of it is, there's not like you're looking over your shoulder and there's a lot of people behind you. These guys, people come because they want a chance to play. If you're ready for your opportunity, like, you're going to get a chance to play. Like John and Jelani, I think those are our two guys that are, have been affected the most in terms of their minutes and how much they play. But they compete every day. Like, I haven't had a concern about John at all. And Jelani, I look at him and there's days in practice and you wonder, like, man, how did he average 3 points a game? Because he's a really talented kid, and he's got some tools that we're going to try and keep bringing out, and keep showcasing in terms of the things that he can do. So I'm pleased with all of our guys. Right, everybody kind of how we play. There's got to be a lot of versatility in what we do. So I don't get caught up in he's the anything traditional. Like, we need a 1, we need a 2, we need a 3, we need a 4. We need basketball players. And I still got a lot of basketball players out there.
With the lack of bigs you guys have, do you expect to go quite a bit smaller then to start the year, and how does that change things schematically for you guys?
It hasn't really changed anything for us at all in terms of how we play. There's no difference at all. So, it makes us defensively, like, in terms of what we do, like, we've adjusted a little bit, but it hasn't been anything that's changed one way or the other in terms of how I've wanted to guard. So, tell them, ball goes up on the glass and we're small, like, fight to go get it, right? That's who we need to be. But when we had everybody intact, I had the same exact message for them, right? We need to be gritty, not pretty.
Hi, Coach. With so many talented guards on the roster, what does the competition look like in practice, and how are you going to incorporate all of them on Wednesday?
Yeah, we're going to use them all. Like, let them play to their strengths. Let them play to their strengths. Youngstown will challenge us because they're not going to let us. They're going to change defenses. They're going to move guys around. They're going to do a lot of different things. So our experienced guards need to play like experienced guards, all right, and get us into what we need to do. So it could be a little bit choppy offensively because of that, because of how they change defenses, because of what they do. But using those guys' experience and then being able to let them play to their strengths. They've played well together. They've all played well together. We've mixed them up in the different spots, and I don't have a problem with what they're doing and how they're playing. I just want those guys to be confident. Like, step in, shoot your shots, attack the rim, make the right play every single time, and they've proven that here since practice has started.
We obviously know how John plays the game. Do you have to set a max minutes for him? And in practical terms, what's the difference between 22 and 28 minutes for him?
Yeah, it's kind of by feel, like in terms of how much you play him. I don't go in with like a set in terms of like you're going to play this amount of minutes, you want to play this time. I think you just have to kind of go by feel. And then allow him to play at a maximum level and then give him breaks, right? So he can stay at that level, right? If you play him too long and he overdoes his max or he overdoes his max, and I got kids, so they play a lot of video games, and you're playing 2K and you hit the turbo button way too much, and your guy, like, now he's like crawling from one spot to the next. Like, we don't want to eliminate his turbo button. We need some juice still in there. So we'll play it by feel, see when he needs to come in, when he needs to get back in. But we want him out there because he sets the tone for us, especially on the defensive end, with how hard he plays, but how well he talks and communicates to everybody.
Hey, Coach. Going off of the possibility of playing small ball, are you a firm believer in playing position in basketball, like traditionally based on height, or are you always going to play your 5 best players on the floor?
Yeah, I'm all about just putting them out there, and no matter who it is, there's going to be the game of basketball. There's always going to be mismatches everywhere, right? It's about who takes advantage of those mismatches, and who can kind of thrive in those situations. So we're just going to play whoever's rolling. And that's, if everybody's 5'6", and you're just going to have 5'6" guys out there, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what we need to do. But, if we're playing at the right level, if we're playing hard enough, if we're playing tough enough, like, we'll get it done. We'll get it done no matter how big or how small anybody is out there. Part of the job, I guess part of my job is figuring out, like, how to make us successful in that way. So, I think as you go on and you watch us play, I didn't spend a lot of time, there's not a lot about teaching these guys plays, right? I want to teach them how to play. And then the situation will tell us what to do. So, hopefully we see that on Wednesday. We've spent a lot of time trying to teach them how to play. And now as the situation changes, they need to adjust and make the right play every time.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.